Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to The Pale Beyond. So I just stumbled upon this as part of the Next Fest. You should check it out. Came out of nowhere, game made specifically for me, which is wonderful. This is tapping into sort of polar explorers. I think you play as a shipbreaker or a rescue ship or something to that effect. Sorry, an icebreaker. If you've seen the TV show The Terror, you will be right at home with this. And if you haven't, you should watch it because whatever year that came out in, was it 2019 or something? I can tell you that was the best show of the year. It's phenomenal. I should go back and watch it. So yes, shipborne polar explorer ship management video game. Yes. Please, all of the above. Oh, the air bees cold. Wait, do I have to click? Oh, I click on that. Oh, the air bees cold of flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. To the ice they'll pray that leads reveal, out in the ice they'll stake a claim, that in the dark they'll brace themselves. For the horror's still ahead. Well, the music's nice. Of homes they'll dream, of warmth long lost and chase to Frostworld's edge. A hunger draws the desperate here. It's one that can't be fed. I don't mind this, completing bloody limericks or poems, rhymes, songs, whatever you want to call it. It's one that can't be fed. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. Oh, that's cool. Put this in games. If you want to suck up to me, put this in your game. Especially if it's naval, but we already knew that. Anything set in the Navy is a win for me. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. Straight up, if this was a job invite today, I would go to this. I've talked about how if they had tickets to be the janitor on the Mars colony, go on a one-way ticket, I'll go. In my heart of hearts, I still have that explorer's frontiersman compulsion. That's the deepest fantasy for me. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. It's perfectly adequate. I'd rather coffee. No, this is trying to weed me out. It's trying to figure out if you're a true, monarchist, true Englishman seafarer. It's perfectly adequate. I'm not going to drink fucking coffee in this time period, in this setting. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. I find it rather calming, which is true. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. The room is sweltering, the air stiff and stale. Keep waiting. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. Remain standing. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? I've enough to get by. Open mouth. Yep. You bare your teeth to the man. Good. Can never be too careful. Exactly. You don't want the rot in there. You got to make sure that he's healthy. If your teeth are falling out, it's a sign of poor health. The captain sits down. It's the little things you can lose people to. You speaking from experience? I've not had scurvy before, or you're late. I am not talking to this captain that way. I will say I've not had scurvy before, if that's what you're asking. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? None? More than I'd care to admit. Can you remember their faces? Yeah. Every single one. It's a bit grim. Please take a seat. Thank you. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. All right, we're punching out the pipe. Let's go. I'm Captain Hunt. What a name. On your desk, which ship is that? Yeah, this game's trying to tempt me to, like, I get the I'm an underling, right? The way that this conversation's going. It's trying to tempt me to fucking be some sort of modern 22 fucking, Twitter user. Sure. What ship is that? You don't say that to the captain. He nods. So what's the job then? Wait for him to continue. I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. It's fine. This is a waste. Is this a waste of my time? No, it's fine. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. The advert said there was glory to be had. It all seems a bit convoluted. Keep listening. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Oh, mate, this gives me a battle boner. That didn't deter you, did it? Quite the opposite. It's why I'm here. Good work is hard to come by. It's to be expected, surely. That's very British, but quite the opposite. It's why I'm here. See how he responds to that. A thirst for adventure, then. He winks. Aha! I'd keep that to yourself around the other sailors. They might drown you in it. I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a land lubber or a sea dog? Salt-born, the ocean, same as yourself, mixed. If I knew, I'd tell you. I've been all over. Land-born? No, let's salt-born. The ocean, the same as yourself. I'm salt-born and bred. Military experience? Royal Admiralty, merchant, criminal. Let's go Royal Admiralty. How do we not? 2 tours. Under what circumstances did you leave? Honourably, desertion, in one piece. Let's say in one piece. You'd be surprised how many candidates, how many can't even say that. Oh, especially in this time, for sure. Have you ever fired a weapon? Yes. Have you ever killed a man? Don't be fucking soft. Yes. I see. You're not married, are you? Married to the sea, mate? Of course not. You better not have a death wish. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving in the first place. Any less and you're doing yourself a disservice. Let him continue. We're here to find that ship in the bottle. Oh. The Viscount. Ever heard of it? Let's say yes. Yes. The captain eyes you. But I don't believe it. It was a government vessel to find magnetic south. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's press that. Prove that I know. You've a good memory for a soldier. Aye, 'twas. Bit late for a rescue operation then. They're probably dead. And we're supposed to be chasing this ship. Let's press that. Yep. Alive or now, I will say, right? Because Scarlet can be wrong. Scarlet will eat his words. In fact, I endeavour to be proven wrong constantly. However, I'm very opinionated. So I say things like, I hate visual novels a lot. Now, so far, this is playing like a visual novel. And I am engrossed. So there are exceptions to the rule. Generally, I won't give you the whole fucking spiel because I do it all the time. But the reason I dislike visual novels is because they're usually gameplay adjacent. They're more of a vehicle for someone's shovelware fanfic. Kind of not great writing. You know, the fact that someone thinks that they can write a visual novel is usually a red flag that they probably shouldn't. Broadly speaking, not all of them. I'm enjoying this. I find all the writing very involving. The music in the background, the humming, the little moving metronome. There are some little flourishes that are actually making this a more engrossing interactive experience than just a crappy fucking weeboo, click the right choices visual novel. Anyway, alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. And we're supposed to be chasing that research. I'm going to need more than rumours about lost ships if I'm putting my life at risk. No. All right, you have my attention. Yes. Captain smiles. Here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now. So we're chasing ghosts then. Until now. Until now. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Whoa! Where are they now? Dead. But their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. And that's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will. And well, my judge of character's gotten me this far. Oh, so I'm going to be your first mate. Okay, very good. Who's financing of this? What of our own ship? What of our crew? Quite the mix. A work in progress. Some I've known for years and they get in on trust and experience, and others, well, they interview. You don't have a crew, or how large is this crew? You don't have a full crew already? Not entirely. A different undertaking than usual. We do have transporter though. We'll be travelling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty. Greenwood generational. Not like many left. Not like it left. Not many like it left these days. Sorry, I struggled with that. The Viscount and the Temperance are sister ships. Oh, built together, sent out into this world to die alone. That's very poetic. I didn't even read that. Superstition gets people killed? No, you don't say that. Superstition makes a ship run. What does that matter? Poetic. Indeed, I like to think one calls out for the other. Captain, see? I understand. The captain looks at this bottled ship. So what do you think? It's worth it if there's a chance anyone alive? No, that's not really the point. Sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. When can I start? Yeah. Ha! Not many as eager as you. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking, I sound like fucking bloody Porky Pig. Don't you need more information? You're not what I expected? So I have the job? I don't like any of these answers. I obviously have the job. I don't want to say that to him. And I don't... We'll pander to him. You don't need any more information? Not if I'm a captain worth his salt. I work with people, not professions. I'd sooner trust a good carpenter than a cruel sailor to save me from drowning. Oh, that's a cool saying. I like that. But alas, I'll see you on the Temperance. I've got a good feeling about you, Shaw. That makes one of us. Oh my god, this game just... They're not really choices when they're just so prickly. Feeling is mutual. Thank you, Captain. Captain makes his way to the door and you follow. All right, so I didn't click on this because I found it to be an appealing visual novel. So I'm pleasantly surprised, but I actually want to play the game that I saw in the trailer. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship, the letters on the side spelling Temperance. Okay? Approach the Temperance. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. Oh, look at these chops. This dude's not fucking around. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. A military gait. You must be Hunt's pick for first mate. I figured he'd keep it in the ranks. Good man. He extends an arm. Richard Templeton. A pleasure. Shake his hand. Absolutely. You accept his offer for a handshake. It is a considered shake. Oh, good. I shall be operating as the Chief Science Officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Interesting syntax. What did you specialise in? Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up to the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable at best. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. Right, some sort of... They say first mate, but... XO? I guess it depends how you look at it. Though I must warn you that you have quite a task ahead. The rabble I've spent this afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if the expedition is to succeed. Exactly, 100%. I expect you to be the organised sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. I have more than enough experience with a crew of this nature. This is comforting to hear. It would seem most of the crew the captain favoured personal history over expertise. It's good to know that he found a capable sort for such a vital role. Let me know when you're ready to depart. I'm certain that you're eager to be back on the ocean. Oof. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. And what's this? A young man? The city. The Temperance. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate, near identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. Set sail? Oh, well, bugger it. I could have clicked on more things. Whatever. Like, we're trying to get an overview. Walls of text are one thing, but I've only got so much clock to get through some of this game. Week 1 week on the Temperance. The Pale Beyond. Cool. It's been a month. That's not a week, but okay. A hunger draws the desperate here. It's one that can't be fed. What will you do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? Did we not already hear this poem? I'll lead these souls, so help thee God, out of the Pale Beyond. First made sure personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. Aha, right. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. Captain Hunt has mostly kept to his quarters so far. I trust the captain. The captain seems a trustworthy sort. I like it. This is inspired as well. Writing our own log. What's going on here? Captain seems a trustworthy sort. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make it out the other end of naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigor. I've heard the rumors. Drinking, desertion. There's probably good reason he's dressed in antiques. But perhaps I'm too quick to judge. Sign off. For now, we'll sign off, right? Okay, I want to get in more game, but this, in the world of visual novels that I dislike, this one is actually quite impressive. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Joe. Captain wants you at the helm. Okay, I'll head there now. He leaves. Captain's cabin. Join the helm. The forecastle. I nearly said it wrong. Forecastle. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of his ship. Ah, Robin. Lovely day for it, isn't it? So my name's Robin Hunt. Okay, cool. One of your lackeys summoned me? Fuck off. Don't you have the helmsman to deal with that for you? Of course he does. It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like these I make sure to do my share of the sailing. Okay. How interesting. He winks. Let him continue. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Ooh! Do you ever take the helm in the Admiralty? Never felt right not to for me. Well, surely, yeah, taking the con at a certain point in your junior years is part of progression. Here, why don't you have a try? Take the wheel. Absolutely. Jesus, take the wheel. You grip the wheel for the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Used to pan around. Oh, that's cool. The memory in your muscles rear themselves and begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Easy. There you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. And zoom in and out. Peaceful, isn't it? This is a clever tutorial. Panning and zooming can be adjusted. He takes back the wheel from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Of course. Off to the captain's cabin. Take requests. The desk. Painting. A tub. I'll take requests. Whatever that. So there's a clock moving past. I do enjoy these hybrid games. Like and that's a big part of why it gets a pass as well. It's not just a visual novel. There's clicking and management and that. It makes me think of things like Dead in Vinland, which you should check out. One of my favourite games. Very much Excel spreadsheet manager of a family, sort of Robin Crusoe, stuck on an island, but Viking setting. A heavy dose of sort of storytelling a la visual novel, but the actual sort of day-to-day management is a big part of it as well. You take a seat at the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed onto this expedition, ourselves included. We can see them there. That's 16 free to be assigned to tasks if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. Aha! You're only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at next port. The lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. That must be morale. The expedition will tear itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. Yes, the perfect name for it. We've enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. Crew members will start to develop scurvy and be unable to work should you end the week with no food left in the hoosh pot. And more than enough fuel to get us there and back again. Alright? You'll all freeze to death if you end the week with no fuel in the furnace. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on ice. Now, on to work. Corvid or Cordell? Is that a chick? Let's have a chat with you just because I'm curious. Have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, eh? Sure, this is Lady Cordell. Okay, this will be interesting how we weave this in. Is it going to be period appropriate? Or are we trying to fucking force bullshit into this game? Cordell here is to provide us with the kennel of hounds for the sleds. Okay, alright, sure. That makes more, having like a specialist, that makes more sense. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island. But you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel, it's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. Lady Cordell. Yes, let's highlight that. A moniker given to me by the locals of the city on account of her vernacular. I find it odd that you seem to have researched me as much as you have my kennel. I like to know who I'm negotiating with. Right, so she's not actually a lady, just, disparagingly. He said on account of her vernacular. So because she's well spoken, they call her lady? I don't know. She demands we allow her to come along on the expedition as a member of the crew. Now look, you can get all hackled if you want, but it's bad luck to have a chick on the ship. Especially in these days, and also, still to this day, superstition aboard ships is still a thing. It's still a thing. But we're not going to necessarily get into that too much. None on this ship have the experience of familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if you have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, sure. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? Oh, they're not going to address it. Okay, that's fine. I don't see the harm in having an expert on the sled dogs. We should cancel the deal. We can find another buyer. If you're so adamant, we accept your offer. What if we push? I want to push back. Now, I'm not doing it because it's a chick. Just for the record, I was just talking about history, right? Developers want to do whatever with this game, but what if we push back on a crew member? Can we replace them? How flexible is this game? We should cancel the deal. We can find another buyer. It's not so simple, sure, unless you want to add several more weeks, maybe months to the expedition after we've already set sail. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management of ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them, and I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Can't be serious. A civilian? Really? It's not strictly a military vessel. This is probably, like, it would be military commission. No, it would be state commissioned. But I wasn't crewed out of the military, so technically I'd be a civilian. I mean, I guess it depends how you look at it, right? If you've served, are you ever really a civilian again? I don't know. What I don't like is false fucking options in these sort of things, right? The game gave me the chance to push back, and it sort of alluded that I could get this person sacked, right? But it was a false option, and I don't like that. Don't expect a crew waste time taking care of your mutts. Welcome aboard, Cadell. Your knowledge should be prove valuable. We'll just go with that. Invaluable. Oh, fuck off. I'll have room prepared for you below deck. Max crew increased. No need, you'll find me and the folks all with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making mistakes, sure. Plus 14 available dogs. Okay. Corvid. A sailor enters. I like this get-up. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway I've had. The captain studies them further. So, is this supposed to be a British ship? Like English? What were the Americans up to in this time period? I don't know. Not sure. Anyway, whatever. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir, says the runt. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside that crate? I did, sir. Oh, how old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true, I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jib-borne from your bowsprit? I do, I learned it all from Madar. Oh, okay. Your Dar? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board back to the city. He's Ward's son. Oh. What should we do with him, Cap? Well, there's not much you can do. We've already set sail, right? I think, did they infer we're stopping for resupply along the way? Hunt eyes you up. You're first, mate. What should we do with him? I'd keep him aboard. He's not staying on board. It's your decision to make, not mine. Fuck you, game. Again, is this a false thing? He's not staying on board. I'm going to push back and we're going to see if this game's full of shit. Ditch him when we make next port. We don't need more mouths to feed. Drop them off at their next... Now, why do you stop? Why are you jumping between them and the he? This is... I'm not even going to get into all this modern bullshit, right? However, ditch him when we make next port. Drop him off. This is actual incorrect English grammatically, right? In this particular context, drop them off would be to multiple people, right? That's why you would use that. Especially when you're going ditch him. Ditch him, drop him. Leave him with enough money to catch a boat back to the city. We'll do that. Will you let me do it? I don't think it pertinent to bring any money to the... I didn't think it pertinent to bring any money to the frozen desert, did you? Let's hope the boy's father has enough to keep them going. The two sailors drag the stowaway boy back below deck, taking him to see his father in the crew cabins. And what of the father? Okay, -1 available crew. Should we drop him off with the boy? It's his son. That's for him to decide. No, he signed a contract. He stays. Yeah, he stays. Here's the other thing. Think through this lens. If you kicked the father off, that would really fuck things up. He probably needs this trip to actually feed the kid. So it's a pain in the ass kid that's stowed away, gonna become a liability, cause problems, get rid of him. You're doing the father a favor. And by keeping him on, he should be indebted to you as well. He should be like, thank you so much. Imagine that. Imagine a kid fucking your job up because they're a brat that won't behave, right? Sign a contract, he says. Indeed he did, though I'd wager word has already travelled to the man. If he says anything to you, tell him it was my idea. What? Well, that matter's sorted. He wouldn't want to leave, surely. Finish requests. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can we get through this? I'm sort of up against the clock. It's a slower pace. Some games are harder to show off in a shorter video, right? That's all said. I'll have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck for dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. Couldn't mistake them. Okay. Do you require me? No? This isn't a matter for the first officer. First officer. Okay. And they will call me first mate before? Okay, it's a bit all over the place. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with most of the crew. Okay. Sure. So we've got these components. Join the figure balancing on the mast. The forecastle is locked. Kennel master is preparing the room inside. Captain's cabin. Okay. Cool. Right. Okay. Interesting. Color me curious. I'm going to have to stop there because I don't have 10 hours to get into it. So it's compelling for sure. However, to anyone ever watching this, because I know smaller developers watch my videos as well, right? If you're going to put a demo up, it is a vertical slice. To me, this is just the first 30 minutes of the game, okay? And that's fine, usually. But if your game has a long tail on it, like this, if it's a slow burn, heavy narrative, you probably shouldn't be putting your demo up in this way. Maybe take a chunk. I don't see the problem with having like 10 minutes and then jumping forward into 10 minutes later in the game, that sort of stuff. You know, sell it. Sell your game to people, right? Because this might turn a lot of people off because it's so visual novel heavy. And I know if you check it out on the Steam page and all that, there is a lot more gameplay mechanics and all that, but it doesn't seem in a screaming hurry to show it to us, right? All I'm saying is you just got to play the game. You're up against a million other games in this next fest, and then when you go to market, same thing again. So you just got to be careful how you pitch your game. I find it compelling, but I have a heavy bias because of this stuff here. A few of my sort of complaints, you know, about like sort of grammatical issues and all that were minor, absolutely minor. But I find it compelling as far as visual novels go, which is actually high praise coming from me. Like I said, if you've not been on the channel before, I really dislike visual novels, broadly speaking. But again, big bias for me too. I find it interesting. I really want to see what happens when disaster hits. I look forward to the full release. I will probably be having a look at that myself then. But yeah, very compelling. I'd be curious if anyone checks out the demo themselves and perhaps they go a bit deeper and further into it, what their thoughts are. Feel free to drop me a comment and let me know what you think of this whole experience as well. But this is cool. This has very quickly jumped to the top of my anticipated list. And maybe the same for you. Anyway, team, I might just leave it there for the time being and I'll catch you guys on the next one.